Welcome, diver, and congratulations! You've completed your open water diver training, a major milestone that opens the door to an entirely new world beneath the surface. With your self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, or scuba, you now have the ability to safely explore coral reefs, some of the most breathtaking ecosystems on Earth. But here's the truth. Being able to dive on a reef is only the beginning. To truly enter the coral reef environment as more than a visitor, you need something more than buoyancy skills and air management. You need the knowledge, awareness, and ecological understanding that transforms you into a coral reef ecology diver. That is exactly what this training is about. Welcome to CRED-X, the ecological extension of your open water course. CRED-X is designed to bridge the gap between diving in the reef and diving with the reef. By completing this program, you will earn the CRED-X certification, awarded on top of your open water certification, an industry-recognized extension that represents far more than an additional credential. This is not just accreditation. This is ecological competency. It is proof that from the very start of your diving journey, you have demonstrated the awareness, responsibility, and understanding needed to interact with coral reefs in a way that protects them, respects them, and supports their future. So as we begin, remember, you are no longer training simply to explore the underwater world. You are training to become part of its stewardship. Welcome to CRED-X. Let's begin. Now that you've entered the world of CRED-X, we begin with one of the most visible and most misunderstood parts of the coral reef ecosystem, marine fishes. When most divers first descend onto a reef, the fish are the first to capture their attention. Flashes of color. Schools moving like living clouds. Tiny fish darting between coral branches, and larger predators gliding effortlessly in the blue. At first glance, they may seem like beautiful background life, but in reef ecology, fishes are far more than scenery. Marine fishes are essential players in the reef's survival. They are grazers that prevent algae from smothering corals. Because once you know what to look for, every fish you see becomes part of a larger story. The story of reef balance, reef health, and reef resilience. So as we begin, don't just watch the fish. Read the reef through them. Welcome to Lesson 1, Marine Fishes. Let's dive in.
When you descend onto a coral reef, one of the first things you'll notice is that fish don't just exist on the reef. They occupy different layers of space. Some hug the reef like it's home. Others cruise the open water above it. This isn't random behavior. It's ecology in motion. In this lesson, we'll explore how reef fishes are recognized, categorized, and understood, focusing on two major ecological groups, demersal fishes and pelagic fishes. By the end of this video, you won't just see reef fishes, you'll understand why they are where they are. In marine ecology, we categorize fishes not just by name, but by how they interact with their environment. Key factors include where they spend most of their time, how they feed, how they move, and how they use the reef for shelter or protection. One of the most fundamental ecological distinctions is position in the water column. This brings us to two major groups, demersal and pelagic fishes. Demersal fishes are species that live on, in, or very close to the reef or seabed. The word demersal comes from Latin, meaning belonging to the bottom. These fishes rely heavily on the physical structure of the reef. Key characteristics of demersal fishes: stay close to coral, rock, or sand. Use reef structures for shelter and protection. Often have laterally compressed or maneuverable bodies. Short, agile swimming bursts rather than long-distance cruising. Ecological role: demersal fishes are deeply tied to reef health. They contribute to grazing algae, like parrotfish and surgeonfish, controlling invertebrate populations, recycling nutrients directly on the reef. If the reef structure is damaged, demersal fish populations decline quickly. Common demersal examples: damselfish, butterfly fish, wrasses, groupers and Murray eels. Key observation tip for divers: if a fish retreats into coral, sand, or crevices when startled, it is almost certainly demersal. Pelagic fishes occupy the open water column, often above or adjacent to the reef. The term pelagic refers to the open ocean or open water. Unlike demersal fishes, pelagic species are not dependent on physical reef structures for shelter. Key characteristics of pelagic fishes: constant, efficient swimmers, streamlined, torpedo-shaped bodies, often form schools, rarely stop moving. Their body shape reduces drag, allowing them to travel long distances with minimal energy. Ecological role: pelagic fishes act as energy connectors between ecosystems. They bring nutrients and biomass from the open ocean to reef systems. They play major roles as plankton feeders, mid-level predators, apex predators. Common pelagic examples near reefs: jacks and trevallies, barracuda, fusiliers. Some tuna species. Key observation tip for divers: if a fish stays suspended in open water and rarely touches the reef, it is likely pelagic even if it's hovering above coral. To recognize reef fishes effectively, observe behavior before color or shape. Ask yourself: is the fish using the reef or ignoring it? Does it dart and hide, or cruise continuously? Is it defending a small territory, or moving freely across space? Rule of thumb: structure-dependent behavior equals demersal. Water column dominance equals pelagic. This approach helps even when species identification is difficult. Understanding reef fish ecology helps us assess reef health, monitor ecosystem balance, predict impacts of reef degradation. A reef with few demersal fishes may indicate habitat damage. A reef lacking pelagic visitors may signal disrupted food webs. Fishes are not just inhabitants, they are indicators. Reef fishes tell a story about structure, movement, and energy flow. By understanding the difference between demersal and pelagic fishes, you gain a powerful lens for reading the reef. In the next lesson, we'll build on this foundation and explore how fish-coral interactions shape reef resilience. Until then, observe the water column, and let the reef teach you. The coral reef. It is one of the most rich, complex, and diverse ecosystems on Earth. A living underwater city filled with color, movement, and life. But to truly understand the reef, we must first understand the organism responsible for building it. And as a CRED-X diver, developing this understanding is essential. Because coral reefs don't exist by chance. They exist because of coral biology, coral growth, and coral reef development over time. So today, let's begin with the larger story of the coral reef. First, an important fact: coral is not a plant. Coral is not a rock. Coral is an animal. It belongs to the phylum Cnidaria, the same group that includes jellyfish and sea anemones. The basic living unit of coral is called the coral polyp. A polyp is a small, soft-bodied animal, often only a few millimeters in size. But when thousands, even millions of polyps live together, they form colonies. And these colonies become the foundation of the reef ecosystem. Over long periods of time, coral colonies grow layer by layer. They build the substructures that eventually become coral reefs, atolls, and even coral islands. These structures are not just habitats. They are the physical architecture of reef life. Corals are the engineers of the ocean. Without them, the reef ecosystem would not exist. Corals are broadly grouped into two major types. Hard corals. The hard corals responsible for reef development are called hermatypic corals. These are the reef builders. They create limestone skeletons made of calcium carbonate. Over centuries, these skeletons accumulate, forming the reef framework that supports thousands of marine species. Hermatypic corals are the foundation of reef construction. Soft corals. Soft corals, on the other hand, do not build rigid skeletal structures. They are flexible, often waving with the current. While they are not reef builders in the same way, they play a vital ecological role. Soft corals contribute significantly to reef biodiversity, and they provide bulk input into the reef food chain. They are an important part of the living ecosystem. Hermatypic corals are incredibly diverse. They come in many growth forms, such as branching, massive, plate-like, encrusting, and columnar structures. Each form has ecological meaning. Each shape tells a story of survival, light, waves, and reef conditions. And as you progress through your CRED-X journey, you will begin to recognize corals not just as scenery, but as living organisms shaping the reef itself. Upon completion of your CRED-X training, you may find yourself wanting to go deeper into coral biology. That is why the next step in your education may include coral ecology and coral cataloging courses. These programs expand your understanding of coral species, reef development, and restoration knowledge. Because the more you understand corals, the more responsible and effective you become as a diver, and as a guardian of the reef. The coral reef is not just a place you visit. It is a living story, and coral is the author of that story. Welcome to the beginning of reef understanding. When we think of coral reefs, we often picture branching corals, schooling fish, and vibrant colors. But quietly woven into this living architecture is one of the reef's most ancient and essential organisms, marine sponges. Sponges may not move, hunt, or build skeletons like corals, but without them, reefs would struggle to function as living ecosystems. What are marine sponges? Marine sponges belong to the phylum Porifera, one of the oldest animal groups on Earth, older than corals, fish, and even trees. They may look plant-like, but sponges are animals. They don't have tissues or organs like other animals. Instead, their bodies are built around a simple but incredibly effective design: water flow. Every sponge is essentially a living filtration system. Shapes, forms, and coral-like resemblance. Sponges come in an astonishing range of shapes and forms. Massive and barrel-shaped, resembling coral boulders. Encrusting sponges that spread across reef surfaces like living paint. Tube and vase forms, rising upward like chimneys. Branching or finger-like structures, easily mistaken for soft corals. Because of these forms, sponges are often confused with corals, especially by new divers. Some even grow alongside corals, sharing the same space and sunlight. But unlike corals, sponges do not have polyps, do not build calcium carbonate skeletons, do not rely on symbiotic algae for energy. Instead, they rely on something far more subtle. The power of filtration. Sponges feed by pumping enormous volumes of seawater through their bodies. A single large sponge can filter thousands of liters of water per day. As water passes through, bacteria, microscopic algae, dissolved organic matter are captured and consumed. This process doesn't just feed the sponge, it cleans and recycles nutrients throughout the reef. Sponges and nutrient cycling. One of the most important ecological roles of sponges is their contribution to nutrient cycling. Sponges take in dissolved organic matter that many reef organisms cannot use. Through a process known as the sponge loop, they convert this material into particulate nutrients. These nutrients then become available to corals, microorganisms, detritivores, reef fishes. In this way, sponges help retain nutrients within the reef system, preventing them from being lost to the open ocean. Sponges as ecosystem partners. Sponges are not isolated organisms, they are deeply integrated into reef life. They provide habitat and shelter for fish, shrimp, worms, and crabs. Stabilize reef surfaces, reducing erosion. Compete with corals for space, helping regulate reef balance. In healthy reefs, sponges and corals exist in a dynamic partnership, each occupying different ecological niches. Sponges don't replace corals, they complement them. Resilience and reef health. Sponges are often more tolerant of sedimentation, low light, changes in water quality. Because of this, they can persist where corals struggle, maintaining reef structure and function during periods of stress. Their presence or sudden absence can tell us a great deal about reef health and environmental change. Sea plants are the foundation of many marine ecosystems. Seagrasses are flowering plants that stabilize sediment, shelter juvenile fish, and store carbon. They also absorb nitrogenous compounds that is harmful to the corals. Macroalgae, or seaweeds, are natural parts of reef systems. But when reefs are stressed, algae can grow excessively and compete with corals for space and light. This is when grazers comes to the aid of the corals. Balance, not dominance, is what keeps reefs functioning. When divers think of coral reefs, they often picture corals and colorful fishes. But beneath all of that beauty lies something just as important: the reef's green foundation. Marine plants are the primary producers of the ocean. They capture sunlight, generate oxygen, and provide food and habitat for countless reef organisms. In reef ecology, marine plants are not just background scenery. They are the base of the entire food web. In this lesson, we will explore the major types of marine plants you will encounter as a coral reef ecology diver. Seagrasses, the underwater meadows. The first major type of marine plant is seagrass. Seagrasses are true flowering plants that have adapted to life underwater. They grow in sandy, shallow coastal areas, often near coral reefs. Seagrass beds are incredibly important because they stabilize sediments and reduce erosion, provide nursery grounds for juvenile reef fishes, support turtles, dugongs, and grazing species, trap carbon and improve water quality. As a diver, when you see seagrass meadows, you are looking at one of the reef's most valuable support systems. Macroalgae, the seaweeds. The next group is macroalgae, commonly known as seaweeds. Unlike seagrasses, macroalgae are not flowering plants, but they perform a similar ecological role. Macroalgae come in many shapes and forms, including leaf-like blades, branching structures, floating fronds. They provide food for herbivorous fishes, shelter for small invertebrates, competition with corals for space. In healthy reefs, algae are kept in balance by grazers like parrotfish and surgeonfish. But when herbivores decline, algae can overgrow and smother corals. So macroalgae are both essential and powerful indicators of reef health. Turf algae, the reef's green carpet. Another common type is turf algae. Turf algae are short, fuzzy mats of algae that grow on reef surfaces. They are a natural part of reef ecosystems and serve as food for many grazing fishes. However, excessive turf algae can signal nutrient pollution, reduced herbivore populations, coral stress or mortality. As a coral reef ecology diver, learning to recognize turf algae helps you understand what stage of balance or imbalance a reef may be experiencing. Coralline algae, the reef cement. One of the most important, yet often overlooked types is coralline algae. These algae are special because they produce calcium carbonate, the same material that corals use to build reefs. Coralline algae appear as pink, purple, or reddish crusts on rocks and dead coral. Their ecological role is critical. They cement reef structures together. They stabilize rubble. They encourage coral larval settlement. When you see healthy coralline algae, you are often seeing signs of reef recovery potential. Phytoplankton, the invisible producers. Finally, we have the smallest but most abundant marine plants, phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are microscopic plant-like organisms drifting in the water column. Even though you cannot see them easily, they are responsible for producing much of the oxygen we breathe, supporting plankton feeders like corals, sponges, and fishes. forming the base of the oceanic food chain. Without phytoplankton, marine life could not exist. Marine plants are not just passive organisms. They are the reef's oxygen producers, the foundation of the food web, habitat builders and stabilizers, indicators of reef health and change. As a coral reef ecology diver, understanding marine plants allows you to see the reef not just as coral, but as an interconnected living system. So next time you descend onto a reef, look beyond the fish and corals. Notice the seagrass meadows, the seaweeds along the reef edge, the purple crust of coralline algae. And remember, the reef is not only built by animals, it is powered by plants. Welcome to the underwater gardens of the coral reef.
As coral reef ecology divers, we often focus on what is easiest to see. The reef fishes, the corals, the sea plant swaying in the current. But beneath the obvious life of the reef exists an entire world of organisms that are just as essential. The marine invertebrates. Invertebrates are animals without backbones, and they make up the majority of reef biodiversity. They are the reef's cleaners, builders, grazers, predators, and recyclers. In this lesson, we will explore the major types of marine invertebrates you will encounter on coral reefs, and why each group matters to reef health and balance. Mollusks, snails, clams, and octopus. Mollusks are one of the most diverse reef invertebrate groups. They include sea snails, nudibranchs, giant clams, octopus and cuttlefish. Many mollusks are grazers that help control algae. Others, like octopus, are intelligent predators. Giant clams even host symbiotic algae, contributing to reef productivity. Mollusks represent both beauty and ecological function on the reef. Crustaceans, reef cleaners and scavengers. Crustaceans are the armored invertebrates of the reef. This group includes crabs, shrimps, lobsters, barnacles. Many crustaceans play critical cleaning roles. Cleaner shrimps remove parasites from fish. Crabs and scavengers recycle dead material, keeping the reef system healthy. Crustaceans are essential to reef maintenance and nutrient cycling. Echinoderms, sea stars, urchins, and sea cucumbers. Echinoderms are spiny-skinned animals found throughout reef habitats. They include sea stars, sea urchins, brittle stars, sea cucumbers. Sea urchins are important grazers that prevent algae overgrowth. Sea cucumbers process sand and detritus, cleaning the reef floor like natural vacuum systems. Some echinoderms, however, such as crown-of-thorns starfish, can become destructive coral predators when populations explode. These organisms are key indicators of reef balance. Worms, the hidden engineers. Many reef invertebrates live hidden within sand, rubble, or coral crevices. Marine worms include polychaete bristle worms, tube worms, flatworms. These organisms help by breaking down organic matter, aerating sediments, building microhabitats. Though rarely noticed, worms are essential reef recyclers. Tunicates, the sea squirts. Tunicates, also called ascidians, are strange but important reef organisms. They are filter feeders, like sponges, and often appear as colorful sacs, colonial mats, transparent tubes. Tunicates help clean the water and contribute to nutrient cycling. They also represent an evolutionary link between invertebrates and vertebrates. Marine invertebrates are not just small creatures on the reef. They are filter feeders that purify water, builders that create reef structure, grazers that maintain coral space, predators that regulate populations, recyclers that keep nutrients flowing. A healthy reef is not defined only by coral, but by the diversity and balance of its invertebrate community. So as you continue your journey as a coral reef ecology diver, slow down. Look closer. Explore the crevices, the sand, the coral branches. Because some of the most important reef life is not the largest, but the most overlooked. Welcome to the world of marine invertebrates.
Seawater, the living body of the reef. Seawater is more than just the space surrounding the reef. In coral reef ecology, seawater is the living body that carries, supports, and connects everything. It is the medium through which life flows. One of the most important properties of seawater is its density. Unlike freshwater, seawater contains dissolved salts and minerals, making it heavier and more buoyant. This density allows seawater to suspend tiny particles like nutrients, plankton, organic matter, holding them within reach of reef organisms. For animals like corals and sponges, this is essential. Corals extend their polyps into the water column to capture suspended food. Sponges filter enormous volumes of water every day, extracting microscopic nutrients that fuel the reef's energy cycle. Without seawater's density keeping these nutrients available, reef life could not thrive. But seawater is not still. Its second great role is movement. Currents, tides, and waves constantly circulate water through the reef system. This movement delivers oxygen and nutrients, removes waste, and keeps reef environments balanced. It also plays a powerful role in reproduction and renewal. During coral spawning events, coral eggs and sperm are released into the water, relying entirely on currents to mix, disperse, and carry new life across the reef. Seawater movement spreads coral larvae, distributes nutrients, and connects reefs over vast distances. So in the CRED-X ecology framework, seawater is not just background. It is the body that suspends nourishment, the bloodstream that moves life, and the invisible force that binds the 7 pillars of the coral reef into one living system. As a CRED-X diver, understanding seawater means understanding the foundation of reef survival itself.
As we come to the ecology, where every fish, sponge, coral polyp, microbe, and current plays a role in the story of survival. Through CRED-X, you have taken an important first step. You have begun to see the reef not only with the eyes of a diver, but with the awareness of a reef guardian. But reef understanding does not stop here. True ecological competency is built through practice, experience, and continuing education. As you progress in your diving journey, programs like Advanced Open Water Diver open new dimensions of exploration, allowing you to dive deeper, to experience the reef at night, and to witness behaviors and ecosystems that few ever see. And beyond that, the Coral Reef Ecology Specialty Diver is more than just a certification. It is a respected pathway that molds divers into truly competent reef ecologists, individuals who don't just visit reefs, but understand them, protect them, and contribute to their recovery. Because reefs don't recover by chance. They recover through knowledge, care, and responsible action. So take what you've learned here, carry it into every dive, and continue to grow. The reef needs divers like you. Educated, skilled, and committed. This is only the beginning. Welcome to the path of the CRED-X diver.